All right, welcome to your first day of school at Lee Summit High School, or at least it's the first day for most of you. This is biology, and I am Mrs. Malak. So today I am going to kind of just introduce you to myself. We're going to talk about virtual expectations, talk about grading, how to get in touch with me if you have questions. I will take you on a brief tour of our Schoology classroom, and I will kind of get you going on your first assignment for biology. All right, so I am Mrs. Malak, and I'm originally from California, Southern California specifically. I went to Loyola Marymount University, and I graduated with a BS in environmental science. Then I moved from California to Omaha, Nebraska, and I got my master's in education, and I became a teacher. The gentleman in the photo is my husband, Dr. Kevin Malak. He works at Children's Mercy Hospital, and the cute little boy in the pictures is my son, Oliver. A little bit more about what I like to do in my free time. My favorite pastime is reading. So I read a lot of fantasy and science fiction novels. I read a lot of them over the summer, and I love to talk about them. So if you're a reader, let me know, or if you're ever looking for a good book, I can point you in the right direction. So, biology class, study of life. We are going to be following these standards that are national. They're called the Next Generation Science Standards. And one of the things they do when they're teaching about biology and about science in general is they kind of take this perspective of something called a storyline. So storylines are just sequences of lessons where each step is going to be driven by you, the student, and the questions that you have. So kind of the goal of the lesson is to teach you all the content like evolution and ecology and genetics and all that fun stuff, but to teach it with a story in mind. So for example, our first unit, we're going to be learning about African lions, and we're going to learn kind of about pieces of evolution and ecology and genetics, but all focused on the African lions. So the goal of storylines, the goal of kind of what we're doing in this class is to have the student always be able to explain the phenomenon, the exciting thing that we see, or actually solve the problem. And we're going to be introduced to a problem regarding the African lions at the start of our unit. So kind of the hope for me is that you're having such a good time learning about African lions that you forget that you actually learned about genetics and evolution and ecology as well. You'll learn all those things, but it'll be so much fun you won't even realize. All right, so kind of transitioning here, we're going to talk about virtual learning expectations. As is the case with most of your classes, your biology coursework is going to be done in a variety of formats. We will have both synchronous and asynchronous. So sometimes we'll do live Google meetings, that's synchronous, and then sometimes you'll just be working on an assignment in Schoology. The agenda for the week, basically what we're doing for that week, will be posted on Monday by 8 a.m. each week, and that'll be in Schoology. To be honest, I tend to be further than a week out in advance, so you'll probably be able to see more than a week out when you check that Unit 1 schedule. And one of my big expectations is that we will be meeting via Google Meet every Monday and Thursday at the start of class. So if you are in my first hour class, for example, you will be logging into our Google Meet at 8 a.m. Monday and Thursday every week. And what we do is going to vary a lot in that Google meeting. Sometimes it's just going to be a check-in. Sometimes it'll be an overview of the week. Other times it might be a review of something or a preview of something or like a quick little mini lecture. What it will not be is it will not ever be a full 50 minutes of us in a Google meeting. I really kind of am aiming to keep these under 20 minutes always. Sometimes they're only going to be a few minutes, like 5 minutes. So really important that you actually log in at the start of class, that you're not tardy. So on the note of Google Meet, let's talk just briefly about Google Meet etiquette. Now, hopefully you already know most, if not all of these things, because you had to do some Google meetings and Schoology conferences at the end of spring semester. But I'm just going to run through these so you know clearly what my expectations are. 1, mute yourself when you're not speaking. 2, be on time. As I mentioned, sometimes our Google meetings will only be like 5 or 10 minutes. So if you come in 5 minutes late and only are there for 5 minutes, that's not going to work. You're going to miss some of the important instruction. 3, ensure your technology works correctly, and that should happen before the meeting starts. 4, use technology to fully engage yourself. 5, choose the proper software and hardware. I wouldn't really worry about choosing the proper software and hardware. That's more on my end, making sure we have everything working properly. 6, please wear appropriate clothing. I heard so many stories from teachers last spring, Google Meeting with people and them not being fully dressed or wearing like their pajamas to a Google Meet. Please don't do that to me. I haven't really met you yet, so that'll be a bit too much. 7, frame the camera correctly. So if you bring your attention down to the webcam in the bottom right-hand corner where you can see my lovely face, you'll notice that I am framed correctly. You can see my face, you can see what I'm doing with my hands. This would be an appropriate framing. You do not want to be doing something like this, or maybe just the all eyes option where you can only see kind of the tip of my face. We call this the Snapchat pose. Please make sure that you are properly framed in your Google Meetings. Also make sure you have good light. That's number 8, so that I can actually see your faces. Number 9, you should look into the camera when you're talking. Sometimes you'll notice during this little presentation here that I'll look away. It's just because I'm looking at my slides to make sure I don't say the wrong thing. But otherwise, look right into that camera. That's how we're making eye contact. And then, of course, pay attention. I'm not meeting with you just for like the well-being of my health. I actually have important things to say to you, and I also just really want to get to know you. So please make sure when we are Google Meeting, you're paying attention. Okay, I will be communicating almost exclusively through Schoology and Gmail. So my expectation is that you are checking that at least once a day. I would recommend twice a day, if not more. Supplies you need, really just your Chromebook, and if you have a stylus, it's optional, but it can be really helpful for some of the activities where we're doing more drawing things. Here is the schedule for just the Lee Summit High School virtual time period. You'll notice Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are very similar, and then Wednesday is kind of its own unique day. You will have biology content to work on every day of the week. We just won't have physical live Google meetings every day of the week. So the grading breakdown. First, important note, all assignments in Schoology will be due at 11:59 p.m. always. Always, always, always. I will never change that from 11:59 p.m. Late work. So if you have something that's one day late, you can still turn it in for 80% credit. Until the end of the unit, you can get up to 50% credit. But after the assessment, so after the big test or project at the end of the unit, it is not worth any more credit. It is worth no more points. Of course, if you have internet issues or connectivity issues, just communicate with me as long as possible. I am really flexible with this. I know that not everyone has great access to the interwebs. Just talk to me, email me, or call me as soon as you can. Okay, semester grade. 50% of your grade is going to be made up of assessments and projects. So that's like quizzes, tests, and projects. The other half, the other 50% is going to be all the other activities that we do during this class. That will include discussion boards, Schoology assignments, virtual labs, etc. And then 10% of your grade will be the final exam at the end of the semester. Contact information for me. So I became a teacher, obviously, because you can make a ton of money doing it. Okay, obviously that's not true. I became a teacher because I'm passionate about helping you guys achieve your academic goals. I love science, I love biology, and I really just want you to love it too. So if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can find my email and my phone number with the extension that is specific to me on the slides here. And then I've got virtual office hours as well. So any of these ways is a good way to get in touch with me. All right, so as I am kind of wrapping up this, you're looking at this, I'm going to move over to our Schoology classroom and just give you a quick tour. All right, so you will notice that it looks a little bit different for you when you open up Schoology. This is the teacher view. Unfortunately, I cannot view Schoology as a student until September 8th, which for you is today, but I have recorded this, or am recording this right now in the past. It is not September 8th as I record. So I'm going to show you what our Schoology classroom is looking like from the perspective of a teacher. It's a little bit different, but a lot of it is the same. So you will see this banner at the top of our Schoology page when you jump into biology with Mrs. Malak. Let me just give you a quick tour here. This little section here has interactive buttons. So when I say we're meeting on Google Meet Mondays and Thursdays, all you have to do is log into Schoology and click on this button, and it will actually take you to our Google Meet. Next one, daily agenda. I know what we're going to do today. You don't know this about me, but now I'm going to tell you I love Phineas and Ferb. So you'll notice I know what we're going to do today, and we've got Perry the Platypus, of course. So the I know what we're going to do today button is just going to take you to our daily agenda, the schedule for Unit 1. So this is kind of your go-to if you want to know what we're working on a given day, or if you just want to know what we're going to be working on in the future. You'll notice that we've got the activities themselves listed here, we've got the date, and then we've also got any due dates listed on the right-hand column there. So the Wordless Images assignment, which I'll show you at the end of this video, is your first assignment, and it's due at 11:59 p.m. All right. So back over here. One expectation I have, and this is an important one, is that you are going to be checking in with me daily. It's basically my way of doing attendance. So if you click here on Perry, you will be led to the attendance, the daily attendance folder. There are instructions here that kind of explain what you need to do, but basically you are going to complete this daily check-in form every day. So let's click on that. This form basically takes the place of me just seeing you face-to-face every day. So normally, in a normal school year when we're not in the middle of a pandemic, I see you, you come into my classroom and I talk to you. I see how you're doing. I say, hey, Joey, like, how was your weekend? Or how did that football game go? How excited are you for the theater production? Whatever it may be. Because I don't get to do that, I have this daily form for you to fill out. So you'll fill that out every day. In addition to that, you will also click on the September attendance folder, and you will only see one of these at a given time. So like on Tuesday, today, as you're watching this, you're going to go into this folder, you're going to go to September attendance, and you will see this little puzzle piece that says Tuesday 9/8. You're going to click on it. You're going to click Start New Attempt, and you are just going to answer this question. This is just my way to take attendance every day. So there's one per day. Basically, you are filling out one every single day. And again, it's only available for the day that it matches with. It will disappear after that day. So you'll never see more than one of these in the actual September attendance folder. So really important that you check in with me every day. This right here is what I'm using to take your attendance. So if it seems like you're never in my class, it's because you're not doing this. So make sure to do it. Last thing on the banner, Mrs. Malak, I have a question. You'll click on that, and it's just going to take you to all my contact info that we just talked about. Additionally, if you need one-on-one tutoring time, for some reason you're struggling with a project, you just want to talk about something in particular, you will click here, and you're going to fill out this form here for me to know that you want to request some dedicated time. And basically, once you fill it out, I will actually email you with a specific time that we can meet. So just know that that's here. And again, that's just from clicking on the Mrs. Malak, I have a question button. All right, so I've got a minute and a half left. Let's talk about your first assignment. So if you scroll down here, start of the year, course information. We've got the biology syllabus. We've got this Schoology commitment form. I'm going to ask you to fill that out today. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to do this Who Are You activity. So let's click on that. You are basically going to make a media post, and I would do this in Google Draw, and you're going to get a bunch of pictures, including a picture of yourself, pictures of what you love, pictures of what you love to do, and pictures of anything else people should know. The key thing with this assignment, as you're putting it together, is there should be no words on the slide except for your name. So kind of looking at my example here, you can see my name's right here, but otherwise it's just a bunch of pictures. The goal of this is to kind of give everyone a clue into the kind of person you are. You can learn a lot about me just by looking at this slide here. So we're all going to do that. That's the activity that we're doing. As far as how to get it from Google Draw into this, you're going to just be able to make something, click File, Download, and I would go for PNG. And then when you are ready, it'll show up in the bottom left-hand corner. You'll click Add Media, and you can actually just drag it over and then attach it and add media. All right, I'm almost out of time, but just know I am super duper excited to get to know you virtually, and I'm here for you. I think this is going to be a great year, even though we're in the midst of a pandemic. Take care.